I don't do vlogs very often anymore, but I thought I would take this opportunity at the end of 2009 to do a little bit of reflecting. For the past year and a half, I've been out of school because I have not been able to afford to go back. Altogether, I've gone to university for 4 years and I've come out with no degree because I changed my major 3 different times, and when I finally settled on anthropology, I wasn't able to afford to go back anymore. So this obviously put a wrench in my plans. A horrible, terrible wrench. I had 4 years of college paid for because my mother, ever since I was little, put the checks for my child support from my father into a bank account. And so in a really weird way, I got lucky that my parents got divorced because 4 years of my college was paid for. In my opinion, nobody should go to university straight out of high school. You're too naive, you're too stupid, and you don't know what to do with the rest of your life. And that's what happened to me. And that's why I wasted 4 years of my life doing absolutely nothing. So for this past year and a half, I've been working dead-end jobs that I absolutely cannot stand. I've been a barista at 2 different places. I worked at a contemporary art center, and I worked at goddamn Hot Topic. But it was only seasonal. Still, I worked at Hot Topic. I did all of this to pay off massive amounts of credit card debt left to me by an ex-boyfriend, and also to work on paying off my student debt and to just, in general, pay bills, pay rent. Eventually, when it became too much, I had to move back in with my stepdad, who is not technically my stepdad legally anymore. It's just that he's been around for so long that he's like a second father to me. So he took me back in just so I wouldn't have to pay rent, and I've been trying to save up some money as well as pay off my bills a little faster. And this was all within the last 4 months. I've tried to go back to school at various times throughout the past year, and each time I've been shut down by admissions people. The last time that I went to my old university, and I told them my situation. I told them that my parents not only cannot afford to send me to school, but it's none of their business, my education that is. It's not their responsibility. And if anybody is familiar of how student financial aid works in the United States, you're not counted as an independent student until you are 25 years old. That means until the age of 25, no matter what you do, with a few exceptions, you are considered dependent on your parents, whether or not they give you money for school. It doesn't matter. There's a few exceptions, however. You can have children, you can have a legal dependent, you could be in the military, or you could be married. My way of getting around the system was to get married, and so that's what I did in February 2009. I married my boyfriend at the time, and we both agreed that this was for basically business purposes only. And so we got married, and we are legally married, even though we're no longer together. We're still friends, so it's not uber weird. Still weird, but not crazy weird. So I have a husband and a boyfriend. Bam. Because of me getting married, I can now afford to go back to school. Granted, it's going to be student loans and maybe a couple grants, but really, in the long run, it's going to be worth it because I'm going to get an education and I'm going to get to do what I want to do. So my first order of business was to get accepted into a college because I know where I want to go in the long run, but I needed to finish off some credit hours, and so I got accepted into UC Claremont, which is a community college near where I live. I need to finish off 20 credit hours of basic things, chemistry, algebra, English, just, typical things. And then next fall, I will be attending the Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science. If you can see that. I'm very excited about this. But I need to finish off those 20 credit hours first. And after I do that, I can go into the Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science and come out with a bachelor's. And that is my long-term goal. It's kind of funny, though, when you're forced kind of into a corner and you don't really have anything else to do. You can't afford to do what you really want to do, and you don't have the credentials to do anything else, and you're forced into these shitty jobs. And there was many times this year where I just thought to myself, what the hell am I doing? My life is a dead end. I'm never going to do anything. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to make coffee for the rest of my life for rich assholes. Nobody's ever going to thank me, and I'm going to die alone and eaten by my 16 cats. But I felt like I worked really hard over this past year and a half to go back to school to make myself a better person. And it's been a really hard road. I've had to swallow my pride a lot. But in the end, I'm going to be happy. And that's what's important. I want to do what's going to make me happy, so that's what I'm going to do. The other really badass thing is for Christmas, I got health insurance. Now that I'm a student, I'm back on my mom's health insurance until I'm 25, so I have about a year and a half to go to the doctor and the dentist. It couldn't have come at a better time because I'm pretty sure I have bronchitis. So, that's awesome. Hope you've enjoyed my little reflection. I always feel like this when the year comes to a close, even though it really doesn't mean anything. But I hope you have a happy new year, and I hope you celebrate it in the best way possible. And I will see you in 2010. Laid 'em way. If only I lived in Britain. We've done quite a few blog TVs this year together, and I hope we do plenty next year. Very a blast, the well-spoken, eloquent man with a tattoo on his face. You should run for Congress or something. Argus Eyes, you need to start making videos again. You're brilliant. Dr. Strangelove 17, you need to make more videos again. You're funny, you're insightful, you're witty, and you speak fluent French. Just another ex, my Danish love. If only I was a lesbian. Ash Crack Cooler. Really strange that we live in the same state and are both so awesome. One of these days we'll actually hang out. Sam's Island 22. You're a fucking badass punk kid. I wish I was as cool as you are. Danny Pants, I have no idea why I didn't subscribe sooner. 777. You're a really awesome commenter. You make everybody think, and I really love reading anything that you leave me.